Alright, we are back into ranked here. I have a new setup. I'm just going to move the mic a little bit. Hopefully this is okay. Right, we mulligan to an absurdly low amount of lands, get forts, well, to rest. Yeah, this was weird. This was the last game recently I played where I was on the back of losing like 12 games. I was literally at the bottom of Platinum. And yeah, at this point I just insta-concede because we got messed up with the mulligan here, and honestly I didn't even sideboard because it felt like one of these games where I don't know why I've lost not 12 games, to be honest. Well, it's probably 12 games in sequence because I was definitely on an 0-5 matches, and it's like, here's a guy who's like insanely higher than you in all the rank matches. So yeah, we didn't do anything game one. They go for the duress and take our favorite cornucopia. Let's shock in and get biotech down. And this is going to be the respect test. Okay, they don't kill biotech, so we'll keep that and swing in for one. They probably think we're just here to use ramp spells because they didn't see any of our treasure making. So let's just pop the lander token. This can guarantee us a turn for Bring to Light for Niv. Right, we go for our thing, and you know we gotta do it.
Reload.
We get a full spread here. Good threat assessment for creatures. I'm going to drop the dual land, not dual land, sorry, the cycle land. Even if they draw into double Fortsies here, we're still pretty solidly sorted. Yeah, there's Fortsies 1. They take a Bring to Light to prevent us tutoring. They play an Unholy Annex with no demons, so they're going to go down to 13 here. So let's shock in. Yeah, they concede. So an interesting opening here versus Black Dust Demons. I don't know what happened there. I think that maybe they saw our rank and thought this was the freebie where they get given a match. And you can see here, we mulligan down to 6. Get rid of the Unmoored Ego because it doesn't really serve a purpose here. We dodge a turn 1 Fortsies, which is pretty good because the biotech, losing biotech here could be pretty brutal. They drop a Colligan's Command. We'll play the biotech specialist. We are struggling for lands if we don't draw a third here. There's the go for the throat, so they do take out our... Yep. They want to give us, you know, mathematically, there's 3 Bring to Lights, but there's 22 lands, but yeah, sure. We're going to have to Vanishing Verse the Shieldred just to take less damage, pass it back. We still need to draw a land. We do have all our colours, which is the bonus here. There's a Raw Invoke Despair, which destroys us mathematically. Let's shock in and get the Ancient Cornucopia down, then play the Wandering Mind to draw another card. We will take the Widespread Thievery here. Now, we are set up because we have... Right, we've got to keep our life total fresh. With the Invoke Despairs here, they could go off pretty regularly. Okay, big lethal board here. We now have to go for the Deafening Silence. So, let's not gain life here. Let's grab a second Widespread Thievery and go for the Deafening Silence to wipe the board. They loot away, dropping a land. So they clearly were getting all our additional land drops. The rest for Bring to Light into, no joke, second Fortsies to take second Bring to Light. They are trying to give it to you, buddy. Right, let's Biotech Specialist. We'll gain 2 life here. We will cast the second Widespread Thievery, put the Joshua under it, make a lander token and pass back. In response, we will crack the lander token to do 6 damage with the Biotech Specialist, putting them down to 10. We are both in a top decking war, but we can cast a Joshua if we can land a cheap interactive or cheap 2-mana spell, because our deck's full of them, you know? No, we just find a land, which is fine. Shock in. Let's crack this using Yorion here. Gain 2 life. Ramp up. We'll flicker this Widespread Thievery here, see if we can find another spell. Probably a little bit more impactful than that. Biotech Specialist is game winning here. So if they have an Invoke Despair, which they do, we have to choose here. And I'm going to choose the Biotech because at least it's a finisher. We are going to go down to 2. And if they had unlocked the Ritual Chamber here, we would have died. They cycle, drawing a card, play a land. We cycle a land, feeling like this game has been given, but we top deck the Niv, which is perfect. Reload. And we draw a handful of cards here, and now we are literally back in it. So we are going to just hold off. We have enough to cast any of these interactive spells. In response to the swing, we will just go for the Vanishing Verse, gain 2 more life, make a treasure. Now if they have a kill spell for... No, they pop the Ritual Chamber, play a land. Oh, it's a Mutavault. Well, in response, we will kill the Mutavault and do 2 damage to them. And yep, and they concede. We pulled that one back. Alright, so we got through one of the strongest decks in the format with the Black Rakdos Demons. Now it's time for the second other strong deck in the format, Mono Red Mice. So, just to clarify, I want to just use this as a justification why this deck might need a banning. So, turn 2, we have a Helix, we take out the Manifold Mouse, so they don't have any other thing to interact with. Drop an Emberheart Challenger, drop a Shadow Spear, hit us for 5. We're going to tap Lightning Helix the Emberheart, so they can't use that again. So we've gained 6 life here versus this deck. And we're still, well, we're beyond dead here, so tapped, play the Joshua. Joshua can serve as a blocker. Let's discard 2 high-end spells, draw 2 non-impactful spells. We need a Vanishing Verse. There's a Burst Lightning. There's a Manifold Mouse with Offspring, and it's just over. So yeah, this is one of the reasons why I think Mono Red Mice needs a ban, is that wasn't a burn deck. That was a tribal deck that literally just kills you on turn 3. Like, goddamn, you'll see a Merfolk deck later in this video that can't even dream of pushing out that kind of damage, nor could even a Sliver deck. I think I'm going to say it before, Mono Red Mice is a deck that was really pushed for best of 1 play and basically went too far in, you know, it's a haste mouse with prowess that also happens to have magical abilities to draw cards. Yep, here he is, Emberheart Challenger. Immediately going to die. With that in mind, we'll play the White Thievery. We're going to put the Vanishing Verse under it. Got to point this out because someone said it happened in one of their games recently. If you use Widespread Thievery to get the Bring to Light, you technically cast it without paying the mana cost, so you don't get to do... You Bring to Light for 0, basically, so keep that in mind. Manifold Mouse on the stack. I'm going to exile the Emberheart Challenger so they can't draw cards. They give themselves... Okay, they don't want to swing in with the Etchings yet. That's fine. Let's play a Biotech Specialist. We will hold back. I think our best bet is to just hold back and block here. If they play another mouse that we need to answer, like, yep, there's one creature we need to answer. Screaming Nemesis. They really should have put these activations on Screaming Nemesis here. So they go to combat. Let's block the Etchings, block the token. They have a pump spell, most definitely. If they had Monstrous Rage here, we just die. That's how insane this deck is. Well, we do have removal, so we could survive this. Alright, first damage happens. They go for Lightning Strike. So, this is controversial, but since I know they're tapped out, I'm taking out the Screaming Nemesis because this is one of the reasons why I want Screaming Nemesis banned. That Lightning Strike could have been used in response to killing the Nemesis, which then would have locked off our life gain, which is how we stabilize against this tribal deck. Right, let's just get another land while we can. Play a land. I'm counting here to make sure I have enough, but yep, we're going to grab the Yorion here. I miss on damage here, but I didn't want to swing with the Biotech Specialist unless I had to. Biotech does more work, makes us another lander token. We have some big blockers here. Just, you know, I'm throwing everything under the Manifold Mouse because Monstrous Rage still scares me. There's another mouse with Offspring. Fortunately, they don't appear to have any of the mice that have Valiant. Okay, yep, they're not coming in. 1/1s with trample aren't that scary. All we have to do to get out of this is cast a spell. So, fingers crossed, eh? Triple Manifold Mouse, giving everything to one of the Manifold Mice. We're just going to pop the Lander token here just to thin out the deck. We are super close. There's so much active stuff here that could totally win us this game. Cycle in this land. Just find us one spell and we can win from here. Okay, Supreme works. How do we know we can win from here? Easy. We can swing in with the Yorion and then crack 2 treasures in response. That's 8 damage, which wasn't enough to win, but they know that we've got a board that they can't get through here. We definitely bring in another board wipe here. We'll go down to Joshua. Again, I'm not saying that it's hard. Mono red, when they hit their perfect curve, kills you on turn 3 without fail. I think the issue is Screaming Nemesis literally shuts down. Like my friend who plays Angels literally says, if they play Screaming Nemesis, I just concede, because they'll burn it, cut off my life gain, and then still win the game somehow. I mean, he's exaggerating, but that's how it feels. It's like, my deck is designed to gain life. How can, you know, the mono red aggro deck have literally the best turn off hate damage ever? Alright, they're going to go for the Manifold Mouse, pumping that, giving them another mouse. I'm going to Assassin's Trophy. That will give them a land, but I'm hoping that, yep, they deploy the Ember Heart, so now we'll shock, hit with the Deafening Clarion. We will take 1 damage here, but we're on 15. There's a Screaming Nemesis. We need a land. We did not grab it, so Ancient Cornucopia. If they have a burn spell on this Nemesis here, we lose the game. Second Nemesis, that's perfect, because they've overcommitted, so let's just gain 2 life and Supreme Verdict. If they just burn spell their Nemesis there in response, yeah, you should never commit double Nemesis. We go for Bring to Light. Yeah, I think this one was theirs to win, they just threw it away with bad plays. So let's grab Niv, and we can gain 5 life from this, go back up to 12. We grab 3 cards, another Bring to Light here is pretty good. And I think they're done. Yep, concede. Got the reload, but it doesn't matter. Next game. Alright, we have a relatively slow hand, but set up Biotech into Ancient Cornucopia. Right, should have seen the sleeves. Is it Phoenix? Alright. So, there's a Cory Steelcutter, which is bad. We'll play the Ancient Cornucopia and swing in for damage here. Second Cory Steelcutter. This is super bad. There's a Lightning Axe, throwing away a Lightning Axe. Alright, we're going to take 4. Right, we're going to shock in, Bring to Light here. We will not gain life. I think our best bet is definitely going to have to be... Yeah, I think we have to Maelstrom Pulse here. Maelstrom Pulse the Steel Cutters. This is only because we have Shuko in hand, so we can Maelstrom Pulse... Pulse the Cutters, then Shiko back the Pulse, which will let us kill the Monk tokens. They have a Lightning Axe. There's a Consider. So we could be dead very quickly here. Shock in, play with fire, puts us to 14. We take down to 6. Play a land, play Shuko, gain 3 life. Cast a Maelstrom Pulse. Use the Pulse to block and kill that. Alright. We need a lucky break here. Is it Charm? Draws 2 and discards a Phoenix. If they Lightning Axe, discard Lightning Axe, that's fine. Phoenix can't come back. Right, second Cornucopia to gain life. Play the Wandering Mind to gain 4 life. Finds us No More Lies. It'll slow him down. Sleight of Hand. We will No More Lies that to gain 4 more life. Force them to choose. Next turn, we get a land, so we can swing in for 2. Then go for a full Yorion here. Gain 2 life. Blink our entire board. We're back at 21. Find a Helix. Not doing great. Really need like a bring to light finisher. I feel like they're punishing us for like, you didn't bring to light for Niv? How dare you? Treasure Cruise off the top is painful. There's a play with fire. That's a second spell. Another Treasure Cruise here. Okay. Draws more cards. Plays an Opt. Plays the Pricklock Prankster. Phoenix comes back. You know what? Let's Helix the corner just to gain life, because it's a good barrier here. We'll swing in for 4 here, see if they block. They don't, pass it back. Plays a land, plays a VV, plays a Consider. Alright, so interesting. Hardcast the Phoenix. We'll pop a lander token just to get another land out of our deck. Please, game. There's another land. We'll swing in. They have to block. We're just holding these lands. There's the third cutter. At least they're drawing lands too, so they equip on the Phoenix. Puts us down to 16. I swear, game. Alright, we're down to 7. There's so many live draws here. At least they are drawing lands as well. Down to 10. Vanishing Verse. I think that keeps us alive. So they go down to 3. Pass back. Play an Opt. Play the second Steel Cutter. This is where we actually survive. So they equip onto the Phoenix. That's fine. We move to combat. Swing in. We will Vanishing Verse the Phoenix for their blocker. Gain enough life to survive. And whew, that one was close. Culling Ritual. No More Lies. Veto. Deafening Silence in. Valky's a bit slow, so he comes out. K-Command can come out as well. Joshua's. A couple of Biotechs, and a Widespread Thievery, and Edgar. We'll take out the Singularity Ruptures here. Milling half of a Phoenix deck is just asking for trouble. Another reason we take out the Biotechs is their mono red removal. We need to give them less options for it. This hand is acceptable. Right, I'm going to put the Vanishing Verse at the bottom here, which could be pretty problematic if we get into trouble. There's a Consider. So we're going to pass back, see what they do. On 2, there's a Steel Cutter. Right, we're going to play a tap land. There's a second Steel Cutter. Alright. I played the wrong land, so I can't play the Cornucopia here. There's a Sleight of Hand. I'm going to veto it to slow down their card selection. There's another Consider. This one could be another quick game. But I would like to point out for the Magic Shuffle gods that this was the second game in a row where they had cutter into cutter. Shock in, play the Cornucopia here, and see if we just die. Third Steel Wheel Cutter. And we're dead. Like, unbelievable. Triple Steel Cutter. Did you see the alchemy adjustments they made to this deck? They literally were like, yeah, we took away everything of Cutter. Everything extra we gave it. It was too much. Right, Deafening Silence is the perfect counter card here if they're not prepared for it. They go for the Sleight of Hand. Play a tap land here. Play the Deafening Silence. They can only cast 1 spell a turn. Let's see what their response is. Sleight of Hand. They don't even play a land and concede. Sweet. Sideboard cards rule. Oh, finally got a opponent here on the old. Interesting. Another Yorion player. Okay, so this is either Overlords or potentially even... Okay, yeah, there's an Overlord. I'm going to not choose the Helix, sorry. Pass back, play land. We're going to play the Widespread Thievery here. So this is probably Enigmatic Overlords. So this deck is one of our bad matchups. So let's see what they do with their turn. Or it could be Una Overlords, I don't quite remember. Well, we can play another Widespread Thievery here. Because of this deck's ability to have Leyline Binding here, I'm just going to throw lands under it. So that if they do Leyline Binding it, it's not a huge loss to us. Or yeah, it'll get lost. That's fine. They grab Yorion, interesting. Not a lot happening on their side. Well then, we'll just Maelstrom Pulse. play the Joshua. I am wary of potential counter magic here, so we'll get rid of the Helix, find us a land, then we'll save mana here. I want to see what they do. There's a Titan of Industry. Okay. With that in mind then, I think it's time for us to actually use the new card in our deck and Singularity Rupture them. Let's have a look at their deck. So it is an Enigmatic deck. Right, there's a Fable. Problem is, we milled a lot of nothing really there. We definitely need... Right, let's shock in, pass back. We draw Valky, which is problematic. So let's just grab Niv here. Reload! Ooh, another Singularity Rupture. Could we afford to mill them again? I'm going to Valky here because I want to hand check them and take that Yorion so they can't blink anything. Yeah, so they do have the Enigmatic and they have the new Star Cage. Star Cage hits the Valky but doesn't really hit anything else. Let's see what they go for here. Right, they concede. So, this deck. Oof. Well, we need the enchantment removal and we need counter spells. Yeah. So we're going to come down a few of these. Now, why are we... we're bringing out the widespreads because as we saw there, they have enchantment removal, but also they are a leyline binding deck. So our best bet is to be mulliganed into oblivion apparently. Wow. Alright, we're down to 5. Yeah, with a really slow hand, so we'll just play lands and pass. High Noon makes it so we can only cast 1 spell a turn. That's not a big deal to us. Double counterspell though is a huge deal to us. So we can now counter anything they try to do that's scary. Buy us some time. There's an Overlord, so we'll counter that. Play a land, play the Biotech Specialist. This gives us more mana for sorting, but also gives us options if they try to do anything. So let's just crack, get another land out. I'm actually loving the Lander token. I can't wait to see some like altars of really sick altar art. I'm going to play the Wandering Mind here. I want to put a board presence down while also establishing more cards. Ooh, yeah. Unmoored Ego here to counter an Enigmatic would be really good. They go for a Kazel's Flanker. They gain 2 life and scry 2. Interesting. That must be one of their tutor targets for Enigmatic. I'm guessing that might be a one-off. Yeah, Biotech can go down. Shame. Passes back. Let's shock in. We'll attack for 2. I'm going to go for this and name Enigmatic. I want to... And I've got to try and figure Incarnation. Yep, I can't spell, so I just go with the words I do know. Alright, pretty slow hand. Agent of Treachery. Yeah, it's Una Overlords. They've brought in vetoes to counter stuff. So we got to keep pressure on here. I'm going to hold up this Normalize because countering a lot of their stuff here would be really good. They are at the point though. Ooh. Yeah, Niv. We got to go shields down now for this Niv, but... Reload! We can't resist a reload. Right, Get Lost takes out Niv immediately. 2 more counters. Not too bad. Let's map, get another land, play that land. Swing in for 2, put him down to 13. What are you going to do here? They can pop the High Noon. I'm just going to use the map you gave me very nicely. Finds us another land, so let's swing in. Grab the Yorion, but don't play it. Let's see if we can play around them. They probably kept the Skyclave and the Knight of Autumn, believing that it would be good enough. So we're going to Assassin's Trophy here. Controversial choice, but actually I think that hitting that's way more prevalent. Alright, hit him down to 3. Play the Niv Mizzet Supreme with protection from monocolored. Now we're going to see that people don't read. Alright, they take away the token there. Now they think they're going to be cute with a Yorion Blink. So they go for the Yorion. I don't have the mana to counter for some reason. Oh, I didn't counter. Yeah, go ahead. It's hexproof for monocolored, so you can't... Yep, and they concede to that. So they didn't read the card. Alright, we now have our fourth match here. This one's a little bit longer, and this one is versus Merfolk. But I do love those sleeves. I love that Sahili art. I'm so mad that that is not in Arena. Like, why was that card art never put in this? My favorite art for that. I love that style. Right, Merfolk. So, Vidalcan Hexcatcher. That's the bane of our existence. When they draw like 4 of these, it becomes near impossible. For those of you who don't know, pay a mana to force us to count, basically force spike. So every Merfolk now reads pay 1 while the spell is countered. So we're going to play Joshua here. One of the other big things that Merfolk got recently was the inclusion of that hasty, that one, the Flood Pitch Drowner that basically just removes blockers. So they now have double effects to just do stuff. We're just dead here. There's no way out of this. So, knowing that, we take out Singularity Ruptures, bring in the Fatal Pushes, take out the Joshua, take out the Valky, a bit too slow, and pass it back. For those of you who aren't familiar with Pioneer Merfolk, it is basically a Lord's deck, but it also has some neat synergies with the Commander that can tap and untap. Yeah, you saw there me being ready to quit because I was like, really? Like, sometimes the shuffler just decides, no, we want this guy to have the win. We're going to Vanishing Verse that guy. Passes back. Deep Root Pilgrimage. Alright, Shock in. Maelstrom Pulse. Take that out. Like I said, that's one of the key things there. If you pay the Commander, who can tap Merfolk to make Merfolk unblockable, he can make near infinite Merfolk. Right. Biotech Specialist is a pretty good inclusion here. Yeah, we pass back and we're holding up the push here because, Fatal Push the Merfolk. Because it also has Flash. In addition to being a Lord that grants counter magic, it has Flash. Sure it does. Right, they are clearly presenting a collected company here, so we're not going to swing in. They whiff on company, so the shuffler has now decided this must be the game we get to win. Right, land a token, deal them 2 damage, get another land out of the deck. K-Command, pretty decent, so we'll hold back for now. There's another company, so double company, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta love that. They clearly didn't hit well, though, because they're taking a moment. Alright, let's make them discard and do 2 damage to the Lord. They've got the Commander now that can tap Merfolk to draw cards. Yeah, I wonder why they took a while with that. That's literally their perfect hand here. Yeah, well, I'm still going to pay the 1. I don't have another spell to cast, and I want you to discard another card. Shaper's Sanctuary to protect their permanents if we target them. They can activate the Mutavault to have free cards to draw cards, so they now have card advantage. We'll put the Yorion into our hand here. Pass it back. Third Vidalcan Hexcatcher. Yes, yep. No joke. The third Vidalcan Hexcatcher. They could counter this if they activate their Mutavaults here. No, they find a Tristani Tide. Yeah. We fight the good fight here, but this was definitely when I was playing this. This is one of these matches where you look at it and go, wow, Arena, you really wanted this guy to win. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not even subtle. It's like, and another way to draw cards. But we got a good top deck too here. Unless they have another Tristani Tidebender in their hands. They don't, so we take the Supreme Verdict to board wipe here. And we can turn back on the Ancient Cornucopia here when we kill the Tristani's Tidebender. There's a Flood Pitch Drowner, so they're going to tap that and get rid of our Niv. Although putting Niv a couple of cards down doesn't seem too bad. Deep Root Pilgrimage, so now they can go off and do the synergy here. So for those who don't know, They tap that to create a Merfolk. Commander has 3 abilities. 1 is tap a Merfolk, he's unblockable. 2 is tap 3 Merfolks, draw a card, and I think 3 is like tap 5, give everything +1/+1. So they're just going to shuffle away our Niv in a collected company deck that is insanely annoying. So we're just going to Supreme Verdict here. So even if they can do some BS with the the 4th Tide Caller counter Merfolk thing, that we don't have to worry about it. But yeah, you see here how they're just gonna make more Merfolk, trigger this, and so on and so forth. Then we're gonna play the Wandering Mind, shock in, draw. We find the Bring to Light here. That'll help us dig for another Niv if we can. Yep, and the Mutavaults also can be animated to make Merfolk. I will trade a land for your thing. I'm okay to take the hit here. I want to see what they do in response, because they're presenting another company, basically. Shock in, just pass back, okay? Right, you know what? I'm going to Bring to Light here. Because surely they didn't have the 4th. No, but they have the company. Does the company find the 4th Fidalcan Hexcatcher? It does not, which is insanely good fortune for us. Right, time to just get another reload here. Actually remember this time. 5 life. Reload! Okay, so Assassin's Trophy, the Pilgrimage. Ultimately stop him doing a bunch of stuff here. Okay, they may have... interesting. Did they not get a land from that? Or did they? Maybe I wasn't paying attention. Ego dropped. I don't know if I agree with that. Maybe we could have used that to take out... Well, there's only 1 Lord left in their deck. Yeah, there's like 3 Lords in Pioneer, I think, and we only see 1 of them because it's literally a counter spell. Widespread Thievery. We'll put a Biotech under it because that's great. Then we'll play the Biotech Specialist. We will gain life. Swing in for 8. If they're not responding to this, I think we can kill them. I'm going to wait till they try to cast the Hexcatcher. Yep, they did draw the 4th one. What a surprise. In response, we're just going to kill them here with Lander tokens and Biotech activations. If they had another thing, we were dead either way, but I could have been safer and played the Helix there. Probably would have been the better play. But yeah, I feel like they could have won that game if they'd not been so focused on drawing cards, if they just maybe just tapped their Merfolks to make near infinite Merfolk. Alright. So, we mulligan. Niv's got to go to the... yeah, we need interaction to try and stay alive here. Springtrap Merfolk comes down. They have 2 mana, so let's play a land here, pass back, see what they go for. There's a Hexcatcher on 2, so let's Helix to gain life. They play a Commander. Awesome. So, with that in mind, let's shock in, because I just checked, it's non-creature, which is ridiculous. Vanishing Verse, see if we can bait them into the removal. They don't take it, so we'll hold up this push. Swing in, that's fine. Right, pass back. Play the Widespread Thievery. They clearly have a Tiebinder, but we don't have a choice. Right, this will prevent the Hideaway, but the other ability does work, I believe, if I remember correctly. Yep, because Merfolk all have Flash, of course. Shock in, play the Shuko, make us a treasure. There's an Ether Gust, so we'll put that on top. In response, we can then Fatal Push, take out the Commander. We can draw the Shuko again here. We just gotta hope. Play the land tapped. Replay Shuko. Makes this a land. I'm going to take the Helix. There's a Tidebinder to counter the Shuko. Because, sure. They're not drawing the lands, so they're just drawing all their best Merfolk. You know, their 1-drop that explores, no. Their 3-drop that draws some cards perfectly. Their taxes, their Lord that counters. It's at this point, yeah, see, look, they drew one of their little Merfolk. Alright, let's just swing in, see if they block. They don't, so in response we'll just hit the Supreme Verdict. I'm going to grab the Yorion here because I need to blink this widespread because I'm not drawing good. Actually, that's perfect. Oh, we don't have green. That could be a problem. Right, let's not do that. Play the Biotech. Make a lander token. Then we will play Yorion. So this is close. There's another company. There's another sequence of Tidebender and Commander again. So now they have an unblockable. Yeah, I'm just checking the third Tidebender in their top 20 cards. With multiple... Yeah, this... So we can't block him. And we need to draw something relevant. A land is not it. They have a Flood Pitch Drowner. At this point, I'm just like, yeah, guy, I get you. This one was, the shuffler decided you're going to win. These are always the worst games because it doesn't feel like you were outplayed. It's just literally like, there's no mistake. It's just, you were given better cards.